Welcome and thank you for joining us for Get in the Game, Find a Program as part of the Virtual Military Adaptive Sports Expo hosted by Move United. My name is Kylene Davis and I'm the Member Services Director with Move United, formerly Disabled Sports and Adaptive Sports USA. And before we get started with this session, I just have a couple of housekeeping items to go over. So as you may have noticed, closed caption for this session is enabled and you are able to adjust on your end font size and color and that sort of thing. So feel free to adjust as needed. If you drop from the session at any time and need help logging back in, please contact me directly. My email has been placed in the chat. So go ahead and copy and paste that just in case. Any questions you have throughout the session, please put into the Q&A function and we'll have time at the end to do a live Q&A and address some of your questions. And make sure to go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Please select all panelists and attendees to ensure that everybody can see you and let us know where you're coming in from. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, this is Get in the Game, Find a Program. In this session, we're going to cover different virtual and in-person ways that you can connect with adaptive programming through Move United in our network. So the first section of this is going to focus on our member network. So our member network is made up of adaptive sports organizations and programs around the country that offer direct access to adaptive sports instruction, equipment, and programming at a community level. Currently, our member network is 192 organizations strong, and we're represented across 43 states and DC. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference in different membership levels later on, but across that network, we are offering over 70 different sports. Our member organizations are made up of different types of organizations, shapes, sizes. Some are single sport, some are multi-sport. But we're pretty sure that there's an offering that might appeal to you somewhere in the mix. So as I mentioned, there's 4 different member levels. This basically just delineates what kind of organization or program is coming into the membership. So again, all shapes and sizes. We have smaller volunteer-run organizations and larger organizations that serve over 150 participants year-round. But the key thing about all of these different member types is that they offer some path of access to sports for adaptive athletes. And part of the process of becoming a member organization is an application process where we vet those organizations for safe and sustainable programming. We won't recommend the program unless we've had a chance to look over it and make sure that it is offered in a safe and sustainable way, that their instructors are trained in the adaptive sports that they offer, and that they have paths of access for adaptive athletes to join their programming. So the easiest way to find out about a program near you is to go to our website, moveunitedsport.org, and look at our locations listing. So this graphic sort of demonstrates how to go about accessing that. At the top of our website, you'll see one of our menu items is the locations tab. When you click on that, you'll be brought to the listing, which is divided out by state. There's also an interactive map, and you can click on either the interactive map or search by state. And when you search by state, it'll open up and let you know what the program availability is in that state, what city it's out of, and when you click on that particular program, it'll take you to the information page for that program. And there you can see what activities they offer, how you can get in touch with them, where they're located, and links to their website. So, sorry, just going back to that slide real quick. So this is the best way to sort of find out about programs, maybe where you are, or if you're traveling, get an idea of what sports are offered. I'll go back through just so you can see. Another way that you can find out about programs are by searching for keywords or activities. So if you're looking for a specific sport in particular, perhaps mountain biking or skiing, you can type that into the search bar and it'll show you all the programs that offer those sports as well. So that can help you sort of isolate those programs that you are interested in. Another opportunity that we have is our events calendars. So this is a good way for you to find events that are available and upcoming that you can get keyed into. The first calendar we're going to look at is the Warfighter events calendar. This is a calendar made up of events that we work with our member network to cultivate, and they are military specific and they are free of charge. So the way that you access that through this graphic, it'll show you on our website, you will go to the sports menu option and go down to Move United Warfighters. From that page, you will click on Find Events, and it'll take you to a calendar that offers not only month by month, but even ongoing. We have a lot of programs that offer ongoing lessons. And then from this menu, you'll be able to select a program that you're interested in, and it'll link out to how you get directly involved with that program. In addition to the military-specific events, we also offer a general calendar of events, which is located on our website's main page under the menu item Events. This is a collection of events from our member network and affiliated partners, and it may not be military-specific, but it's, again, another way that you can get tied into events and programs that are going on. So the graphic will walk us through. You just click on the events tab at the top of our website, and you can scroll down and look at a calendar view, which you can adjust by month, week, or day. And then you can either click on the event within that view or scroll down to a list view. Find the program that you're looking for, click through to more information and how to get signed up for that event. The event calendar also has a searchable functionality, so you can search by location and you can also search by keyword or event. So those are great ways of getting involved with the programs that are going on through our member network throughout the country. Again, my name is Kylene Davis. I'm the Member Services Director. So if you have any questions about how to get connected with a program in your area, feel free to reach out to me and I can help sort of direct you. We're definitely experiencing growth, as Glenn mentioned in the intro session. So we're trying to fill in any gaps where if you live in an area currently where we may not have a member, we're trying to fill in those holes too. So, but if you have any questions about how to get connected, feel free to reach out to me directly. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic to Waida Gomez Garcia to talk about our virtual program offerings.
Thank you so much, Kylene. As Kylene mentioned, I am Waida Gomez Garcia, Senior Events Manager at Move United. And I wanted to spend a couple minutes today talking about our Adapt at Home program, which I think many of you, as I'm seeing some names pop into the session, I recognize some names have participated in that program within the last year. So as an adaptive sports organization, Move United knows all about adaptive. During the pandemic, when live events were being canceled and programs were being shut down, and so were gyms, we knew we needed to pivot. And it was more important than ever that we stay safe, connected, and active, and as healthy as possible. And how did we do that? It's through our Adapt at Home program, which was launched last April and is still going strong. Kylene, do you mind going to the next slide? Awesome. So what is Adapt at Home? It's a calendar listing of live and on-demand programs that is available to you for free. And there are a couple screenshots, and I wish I would have done the same that Kylene did to navigate dynamically through the website, but certainly we can help guide you if you have had any trouble accessing the calendar. But as showcased on your screen, you're able to see a listing of feature events, which lists events coming up during that current week, as well as the screenshot on the second, on the right hand of your screen, that shows a listing of any and every event coming up within the next few weeks, months, which is also searchable by sport, by activity, and most of these have been offered through Zoom. So once you find something you like or you're interested in, you just simply need to click on the link, the hyperlink, where you can register and access more event information. So with that, I did want to talk about, oh, and I should mention, even this week, we had over 100 events that were added. So a lot of our member organizations and partners are still doing programming virtually during this time. So if for whatever reason you are not able to attend a live training, there are a lot of great resources that are recorded and available to you via the Move United YouTube page, or the various member organizations also have their YouTube channels featuring exercises you can do at your own time. In addition to checking out our website, I definitely would encourage you to check out or follow us on social media if you don't, particularly Strava. We have been issuing various challenges in the last few months, and we'll continue to do that to keep everybody moving and keep our community connected. Kevin, can you move to the next slide, please? All right, so I thought I'd share a little bit, a few numbers to give you a little bit more perspective on Adapt at Home, the program, its reach, and sharing some of the highlights we've had within the last year. So to date, we've had over 2,200 live and on-demand featured events, and that has encompassed over 65 member organizations and other partners. And some of those organizations you probably recognize, whether it's Glass in Illinois, Adaptive Ventures in Colorado and Illinois, and they're on the road as well. Courage Ketty, Warp in California, Dare to Try, National Sports Center for the Disabled out in Colorado, Angel City Sports still doing various virtual programs, as well as 360 Sports Fitness Center in Arizona. So that's just a sampling of the types of organizations involved in providing these Adapt at Home events. So it's also a great way for everyone to get introduced to these organizations, to understand the types of programs they can also participate in person. And within these offerings, you'd be surprised, but we were actually able to feature over different 50 sports, fitness, and wellness topics. So whether it's strength and conditioning, that one is definitely by far our most popular, which is inclusive of HIIT, so high intensity interval training. I know that's very popular with our Warfighter, our Warfighters. And we also have yoga, cycling, dance. Those were some of the top offerings. But we also had some sessions with other partners around nutrition and wellness, as well as sport-specific training sessions, whether it was in track and field, triathlon, and rowing. And I know we also featured some family sessions. So if this is something you want to do as a family, there definitely is an opportunity there. And all of these programs within the last year has been able to reach over 270,000 participants from all over the country, including DC and Puerto Rico, as well as internationally. So thinking about community, this is a great opportunity to connect with our Move United community and beyond. So one of the things we did here during this time was also our warfighters were asking us or telling us they didn't have the right equipment. So while we wish we could have shipped everyone weights, and we know there was a shortage of weights during this time, we had to get creative to address this need. So Move United was fortunate to be able to send over 1,800 athlete fitness kits to athletes with disabilities, including hundreds of warfighters. And the kits included resistance bands, cordless jump ropes, a ball, and other things that they can use as part of their workout. We were able to work with various VAs and medical centers to fulfill some of the needs they had while supplies lasted. And we also have, I think there's a few words I saw on the participating today that have received a fitness kit, and we did add some recorded fitness sessions to showcase how those items could be used and incorporated during those sessions. So with that, I'd like to shift to the next slide, Kayleen. I wanted to share that, you know, while we understand everyone is eager, I know I am too, to get outdoors, get active, and we're offering a lot more in-person programming nowadays. There is still the opportunity for you to stay engaged and active through this virtual programs. And in addition to checking out the calendar that Colleen mentioned for in-person, warfighter specific, inclusive programming, or if you're not ready to return to in-person programming, or don't necessarily have a program near you, or have limited access, or just want to try something new, this calendar is what allows you to do that. So the other opportunity or thing that you can do with Adapt at Home right now is if you want to cross-train. This is a great opportunity, as you can see on the calendar listed, for what's remaining today, tomorrow, and into the week. You have opportunity for yoga, conditioning, or if you want to dance, there's plenty of dance opportunities being offered through BORB, or you want to do some small group coaching sessions. It's all available to you. And the great news is it's free. And again, it's a great opportunity for you to connect with other warfighters and people with disabilities and able-bodied athletes. So with that, I wanted to, some of you may be wondering, what's going to happen to the program once we all get back to normalcy and get back to full in-person programming. As this program continues to evolve, the Adapt at Home initiative has certainly provided us an opportunity to really see the potential impact that we can have in many underserved areas, or just giving everyone else an alternative to staying active. So we're very pleased to be working and developing a new all-inclusive digital fitness experience. And I encourage you to stay in tuned to more information this summer. So with that, I will turn it over to Kylene. Oh, yes, and if I have questions, next slide, I forgot to add one more slide. Wida here at Move United, my information is available to you on the chat, and feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much, Wida. That's just an excellent program. It's been so exciting to see it develop over the past year, and I know we've got a lot of good stuff planned for the future. So with that, we're going to transition over to the Move United Warfighters program, and the coordinator there is Bree Podgorski. So Bree, take it away.
Thanks, Kylene. Hi, everyone. I am Bree Podgorski. I'm the Member Services Coordinator for Move United, and I just want to tell you a little bit more about our Warfighters program, and more specifically about our Warfighters Ambassador program as well. Next slide, please. So the mission of Move United Warfighters is simple, and Kylene and Wida touched on it before, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but it's to provide adaptive sport opportunities to warfighters at no cost. So to get involved, I really recommend filling out this short application that's on our website. We can drop it in the chat as well. It just ensures that you're on our mailing list for newsletters or any other type of opportunities that come up for warfighters, caregivers, military staff, the like. So if you're interested, I recommend filling that out. If you have filled it out in the past, or maybe you don't remember, that's totally fine. We can just check your information. Maybe you moved. We can just update it and make sure you're on that mailing list. Next slide, please. So another newer program that we have is the Move United Warfighters Ambassador program. Next slide, please. Move United Warfighters Ambassadors are critical to the mission of Move United and the visibility of what we do to the American people. So they represent Move United Warfighters with a dedication to service and the unique ability to be able to advocate for people with disabilities and be representatives of Move United and Move United Warfighters. The core mission of Move United Warfighters is to reach and engage more veterans in adaptive sports. We want to make sure that everyone experiences the power of sports the same way that say you were able to when you were injured and came through your adaptive sports journey. So our ambassadors are kind of our eyes and ears on the ground in helping us reach that new generation of athletes. Next slide, please. And we're just going to watch a quick little video that will give you a little more inside information from a Warfighter ambassador as well.
Hi there, I'm retired Marine Staff Sergeant Timothy Brown. I became a triple amputee from a dismounted IED blast on February 3rd, 2011 and sang in Afghanistan. The Move United Warfighters program helped reveal the world of adaptive sports to me. I didn't even really know it existed or what adaptive sports would mean to me until I attended my first ski spec in 2011. That event helped spark my love for adaptive sports, which revolves primarily around hand cycling, but also includes camping, hiking, climbing, and really anything you can do in the backcountry. I love exploring and challenging myself, and adaptive sports helps me do that. In the beginning, adaptive sports really helped me deal with the pain and the frustration that come along with limb loss and recovery. Road cycling gave me the opportunity to get in that pain cave and stay there for a day, a week, and never feel more alive. I get the feel-good exercise endorphins and the joy of being outside, but I also get the often overlooked aspect of adaptive sports in group therapy. You get the opportunity to spend time with 200 to 200 other like-minded individuals with whom you share a commonality of experiences and motivation and purpose. Over time, adaptive sports morphed into my mechanism for reconciling who I was. Hi there, I'm retired Marine Staff Sergeant. Over time, adaptive sports morphed into my mechanism for reconciling who I was before with who I am now and what I want to do with my life. It really has become a foundational part of what makes me Tim. This journey has taught me how intertwined your physical, mental, and emotional health are. Adaptive sports goes way beyond just physical health to really help improve all of these dimensions. I can move forward in life knowing Move United Warfighter support doesn't just end. It grows with me as I grow. It has helped me discover and define my new role in society beyond the military. I can choose to be trained as an instructor, a leader, or an ambassador, so I can train other veterans who come after me, and that's what I'm here to do.
Thanks. You can go to the next slide, please, Kai. So that kind of gives you an idea of a little bit of Tim's experience, but to qualify as an ambassador, you need to be a qualified participant of Move United Warfighters, and essentially that is having a permanent physical disability. If you need adaptive equipment or instruction, that is what we are here to provide. Be an active member of your community, be willing to represent Move United at events when requested and as available, and actively engage in the training and tools that will be provided to you by Move United. Next slide, please. Some added benefits or perks of being an ambassador include access to an ambassador individual grant program, priority invitations to events, a profile on our website, access to free adaptive sports instructor trainings, recognition in Move United magazine, formerly Challenge magazine, and information about competitions, access, and pipelines for anyone interested in a more competitive athletic track. Next slide, please. And Move United is here to support our ambassadors on this journey and provide them with the resources that they need. So something you can count on from Move United would be a direct Move United point of contact. Spoiler alert, it's me. And like we mentioned, the core mission of the Move United Warfighters Ambassador program is to reach and engage more veterans with disabilities in adaptive sports. So we'll provide you with the outreach tools and resources that you would need, like talking points or collateral to distribute to help you facilitate any conversations or engage with other athletes. You'll have priority access to training opportunities, and of course we'll provide you with some branded apparel to make sure you're all swagged out for any events or programs you're attending on our behalf. Next slide, please. So if you're interested in applying to become an ambassador, you can visit the link here and we can drop it in the chat. I'll also be sharing all of this information post-event with anyone who's attended or registered. So if you feel like don't feel like you have to capture all this now, we'll send it out again. And after filling out the application, if you choose to do so, applicants can expect to participate in a safe sport training, a background screen, and a brief interview as part of the next step processes as well. You can always reach out to me, or next slide, please, Kai, sorry. You can always reach out to me with any questions that you may have, Warfighter programs in general or about the ambassador program. I'm here to be a resource for you. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Kai, but feel free to reach out to me with questions.
Thanks, Bree. And that segues us into a touch base with Tim Brown, who you saw on our featured video, who's going to share a little bit about his warfighter perspective and his experience in the program.
Thanks for that, Kylie. So if you're like me, a lot of the buddies that you had when you're in got out and kind of spread out to the wind. They're all over the country. They may not be in these major hubs in Bethesda and San Antonio and San Diego, where they're all surrounded by all this stuff's going on and all these resources, which is really where we get to come in as Move United Warfighters Ambassadors. We're essentially the floor sales division of Move United. We have access to a lot of the places that Move United headquarters staff or member staff may not have access to. We're in the Veterans Affairs medical centers. We're in the veterans groups on social media. We're in VFW, American Legion halls around the country. We meet veterans, especially as we reopen, just anywhere on a daily basis. And we have that really unique, innate ability to connect in a way that other warfighters will really listen to. As we all know, vets listen better to other vets. So we have that ability to go through and spread ideas, spread knowledge, spread resources about what's going on. As they went over some of the calendars and some of these other event resources that are out there, maybe pause, take a look at them every once in a while, and not even for yourself. Like maybe you see an event in your region, in your city, wherever you are, and you're not particularly interested in it. Maybe it's it is adaptive dance or tennis or whatever, and even if you don't care about that, somebody you come across might. So you just take it, file in your hip pocket, and as you come across them in VAs or out in the world, then you can suddenly be that resource for them and say, hey, look, hey, there's something going on that you might be interested in. So definitely go ahead and jump on that and get out there. Being a Warfighters Ambassador isn't just about sitting around waiting for stuff to come to you. It's about being the guy or the gal that's going out there and finding this stuff and spreading it around to your fellow veterans, which brings me to something I did recently to kind of do that. I went on what I call the Epic Roadshow. So one of the benefits you can get as a Warfighters Ambassador is, you may have access to things that Move United might give you, say an Epic Pass. Move United gave me one of them this past winter, and as we all know, an Epic Pass is useless if you don't use it. So I decided to put it to use. And, but instead of just going and skiing and enjoying the time for myself, I decided, hey, I should use this time to help promote Move United, and particularly our smaller members who are often, back on mountains somewhere, don't necessarily have the access to a lot of the resources we have. So I wanted to spread that to them. So I went on this Epic Roadshow. It took me to 3 places in upstate New York and New Hampshire. I went to Mount Sunapee, Mount Attitash in New Hampshire, as well as did some ice climbing with Higher Ground and Paradox Sports over near Lake Placid in New York. And beyond just participating in the events, I did some photography for Higher Ground and Paradox Sports. You can see there on the right. Then I did some video interviews. As you can see there on the left, I'm meeting with the executive director of NESA, kind of chat about who they are and help spread them. And these are opportunities that you can do. They don't necessarily have to be this involved. If you're not a photographer or videographer, that's cool. But even small things, like maybe a short selfie video of where you are, what you're doing, a quick check-in with a member organization or something like that you're hanging out with, even if it's not a major event. You can do those things. Tag Move United in it. Use one of our hashtags, and kind of help spread that word, get it up to our level, so that you can really get out there and help not only us, not only our members, but yourselves and your fellow veterans as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tim. That basically concludes our session for today. Hopefully we've provided a lot of information about how you can get connected. Hopefully you come away from this with some ideas on how you might get connected. For those in attendance who are part of a program, maybe program staff, there are opportunities to engage in some of these events as groups. So if you have questions about that, definitely connect with Brianne and we'll get you set up. If there aren't any questions, that will wrap everything up. If you do have a question, we'll stay on for a couple minutes, so feel free to ask in the Q&A section or the chat section. We're happy to stay on. We did have a question about, are there PTSD-friendly programs? We do have a number of member organizations that offer programming and instruction that includes PTS and PTSD, and in some cases, specific programming specific to that. So it's a matter of just checking out the calendar or even reaching out directly to a program that may be in your area and asking them if they offer that sort of instruction and programming. Any other questions? All right, well, we'll stay on the line for a couple minutes in case there are any questions. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to us individually. And thank you for attending. Hopefully we'll see you at some of the sessions this afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.